in your country, there's a lot of bridges that are needed. So this is an amazing meeting, and I think that as you're going to find out, the level of science, I think that it's been like a caged animal while COVID has been going on, and people have really redoubled their research interests. And me, the entirety of the program, I have just been stunned by the science that we are going to hear during the course of our meeting. And it's also something that's unique that I think that for us as deformity practitioners, I think there's been a lack of interaction, and it's been really gratifying to see the different pods of people getting together in the hallway. And you know, for example, my wife finds it a bit disturbing that, you know, you'll have 15 people talking about case, and he goes, you guys are like fighter pilots, you know, you're talking about this and this and this, and the passion that is brought into these conversations. So this meeting is really been extraordinarily following our needs assessment. There are 9 faculty-led instructional courses and case discussions. There were 167 abstract papers that were culled, as you heard, from over 1,000 total submissions. You know, it's difficult to get on the podium this year on the SRS than to win the California lottery. And there's the entire spectrum of deformity from infants to the senescent is being presented. This is, again, just the first day, and what an amazing start for those people that participated and attended the pre-meetings. I want to thank the program committee led by Shay Bess. I think this is absolutely just astonishing, cutting edge. The education committee led by Justin Smith, who worked with Shay to put this amazing program together. I'd like to thank our local hosts who have really been so instrumental in together and providing opportunities, and some of the different evening events or whatnot have been a recommendation. And I'd like to thank Sukin Shaw, who as the educator has provided outstanding guidance for the entire process. I think one of the highlights, which I'm particularly proud for this meeting, is our early career session tomorrow afternoon, followed by an early career social event to try to get younger professionals together to begin the interactive process we found so gratifying by different colleagues through the years. I want to also highlight Larry Lenke, who is getting the Walter P. Blunt Humanitarian Award, and due to some unexpected issues, also going to provide the Harrington Lecture, safety in spine surgery for both pediatric and adults. So we've got a real treat with Larry, who again has demonstrated his enormous generosity of talent by helping us with that. I also want to go and highlight Michael McMaster, who's going to be our Lifetime Achievement Award, and really one of the true icon specialty, and to go and reflect his contribution, I think, is something that I want to thank the SRS staff. With Ashton and her team, none of this could be possible, and they are the best administrative staff of any organization. I've been involved with a few of them, but any organization that I've been involved. The thing is, I want to end this on, you know, again, we continue to hear that people say, oh my goodness, it's so difficult, or there's so many roadblocks, or the SRS is not welcoming. For any of you who are attending this meeting, we want every one of you to become an SRS member. And so what I can do personally, our team and executive committee, all of us want to go and clear any roadblock. We want to be able to interact with you as colleagues and really want this. We want you to apply to be an SRS member. So with that, we will go and turn it over to Professor Yagi.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Amizaki, Chair of Research Grant Committee. On behalf of our Research Grant Committee, I would like to announce the 2020. This year received 49 applications for regular grant types and 9 applications for SRS direct research. And after 2 rounds of peer application were finally selected as the 2022 research grant winners. The preparatory micro grant is Dr. Erin Curtis. Congratulations. There are 3 recipients for resident fellow: Dr. Chris McDonald, Dr. Kenneth Shaw, and Dr. Ryan Finkel. Congratulations. And the winner for new investor grants are the Dr. Susana Nunes Pereira and Dr. Wayne Han Prudence Chen. Congratulations. And this year there are 3 recipients for standard grants. And the winner of the SRS ZIMB Standard Investigator Grant is Dr. Carl Eric Oben, whose research is improving surgical outcomes of lumbar body tethering, a comprehensive mechanical evaluation of patient-specific and surgical policies. And Dr. Eric Perrin is the winner of the Standard Research Grant, and his research is the position used during therapy on frontal and sagittal parameters in healthy and adolescent sclerosis populations. And the winner of SRS Invasive Standard Investigator Grant is Dr. J. Page Lillo. His research is on patients with sclerosis. Smart digital strategies to link link parents and care services. And next, next slide, please. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, SRS Cultural Foundation Basic Science Research Grant is Dr. Ji Li Yun. Congratulations. The title of the research is Biological Responses to Titanium Alloy Fibers using pediatric animal models. This grant is conceived to support projects that will be performing work in pediatric projects investigating molecular and cellular mechanisms, medical imaging, as well as characters in biomechanical aspects underlying the disease are eligible. And finally, this year, the SRS created new grant type, SRS Direct Research Grant. The SRS Direct Research Grant was conceived to support the projects that will be performing work on the topic of long-term outcomes of operative and non-operative treatment following. And the winner is habilitation. The type of percentages in healthcare consumption of idiopathic sclerosis patients treated more than 20 years ago. And the research grant cycle will be starting next February. So I strongly encourage you to submit your research proposals. So thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Our presentation of the award, and Marco Bitumen will be presenting that.
Thank you, Dr. Schäfri. Dear members of the SRS, or the Scoliosis Research Society, it's my honor to be presenting the Bitumen Innovation Award today. So this award will give $50,000 to young investigators under the age of 45 for the innovative research that will advance the treatment of spinal deformities. So in 1916, my great-grandfather and Professor, they were tasked with the development of the first self-operated prosthetic arm. So Professor Sauerbruch came up with this technique that allowed him to basically create a skin tunnel under the muscle, and that allowed the operation of a prosthetic. So this is the great-grandfather, and he designed it. Professor Sauerbruch, like any good surgeon, didn't wait until the product was available. So he started 2 years prior amputating people with the prosthetic in mind. In 1919, this idea of Professor Sauerbruch was nominated for the Nobel Prize. So you might question, why is this guy talking about a 100-year-old story? Well, at the time, while they designed it, they were 25 years and 40 years old. So this is the device in action. You can see they can do intricate things. They can move the thumb, they can move the index finger. But most important, it gave people the independence back to do very important things like that. Right? So my advice for, if you want to be an innovator, you need to start young. Don't wait too long. For the older generation, you transfer your knowledge to the generation as early and as quick as possible. Select your teams based on trust and skill and not on size. And always challenge the status quo. There's so much still to be discovered. With that being said, it's my honor to give this award this year to Thiers Ackermans for looking beyond radiograph and AIS. He will basically design a 3D model that will allow to predict and to investigate AIS surgical outcomes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Next is going to be Nicholas Fuscher, who's going to go and give the acknowledgement of awards and scholarship winners. Nick.
Thank you. As past chair of the Awards and Scholarship Committee, I had the wonderful task of reading over 100 applications for all of our awards, and it really is an eye-opening experience as a surgeon from the United States. There's a passion globally for coming to this conference as well as others. So I'm just going to take a second here to acknowledge the award winners. So Dr. Chowdhury was one of the 2 North American recipients. Dr. Kobar is the Luque Scholarship, and will be undergoing that in spring of 2020, or receive that in spring of 2022. The GOP Fellowship, Global Outreach, is Dr. Janad, and the Orthopedics GOP Fellowship was also to Dr. Rathod. Hailey received the Dawson Traveling Fellowship, and Dr. Vlev, the Winter Global Outreach. Congratulations. My next task was to offer the humanitarian award to Dr. Lemke, and I probably don't need to introduce him. I could probably just walk off the stage, but I wanted to say a few words about Dr. Lemke. Let's see if this will advance. So the Walter Blount Award is given to an individual who has provided outstanding service for those with spinal deformities through their generous actions out of a sense of service to larger social and professional goals. Dr. Lemke could probably win any number of awards, but I think this is a very fitting one. If you look at him, he really, certainly to me, and I think to a lot of the people in the room, is in many ways the father of spinal deformity surgery. He's a master teacher, has unrelenting curiosity, a humble leader, this award. And if you go into that with a little bit more depth, his accomplishments are remarkable, and I think anybody in the room would be proud to have one of these as something that they'd achieved. So to do all of them is really remarkable. He obviously created really the modern AIS classification. He is considered a safety net surgeon. We just heard about that a second ago in the little group that I was with. He's somebody who, when there's a problem that we crowd, he's sort of the last go-to, which is remarkable. He has 125 fellows, and these aren't just any fellows. These are the best of the best. I mean, the names up there are just a small sample of the people who have come out of his training. He has 604 publications as of this morning, which I'm sure there are probably more because it's like, but 1,000 abstracts that have been presented. He's the co-PI of the Scully Risk-1 trial. He's the Fox study group studying the absolute hardest patients that we take care of. And I think one of the things that's remarkable is his ability to partner with and better spine care in a way that is very honest and open. He's a humble leader. He's obviously our president in SRS 2010 and 11, which was actually the first meeting that I went to, is really the impetus through his presidency for the Journal of Spine Deformity as well as the Rio. He has, I think from a global standpoint, touched numerous lives. He's had 750 visiting surgeons, which is remarkable, and has chaired 125 courses, not just attended them, but actually chaired them. I wanted to share two anecdotes on a personal level. So the first professional interactions that I had with Dr. Lenke was when my good friend Dr. Vitale asked me to present at IPOS, and it was a case-based presentation of complex cases. We all submitted our cases, and Dr. Lenke presented this case of a child who came over with ilioaxillary impingement, which was having upper extremity symptoms because of the ilium impinging in the axilla. And so I was asked by my good friend Dr. Vitale what I would do with this, and I said what I think most people would do, which was to send it to New York. And Dr. Lenke took care of this. I also had the opportunity, I do a podcast through Posna called Interview with the God, and this is still our most popular episode with over 1,000 downloads, and it was a true joy to have an hour and 37 minutes actually, with Dr. Lenke and to get a chance to pick his brain and learn about his life. And I sort of posed to him a question at one point, what would happen when he sort of decided to finally step down, and I don't think any of us looked forward to that day. So Dr. Lenke, congratulations on all of your accomplishments and everything, and thank you for everything you've done for the society and for our global spine care.
Really good. Congratulations, Larry. Well deserved.
All right, can I have my slides, please? No. No, it's just a huge Nick to you and your committee for bestowing this incredible honor upon me. I'm very humbled and honored to receive it. I'd like to turn this back to the society that means so much to me, and over the 30 years of my membership with and interacting with, and co-educating, being educated and hopefully educating myself, all the members of the society over the last, I think in a special way, all of you deserve a humanitarian award, because we are all focused on helping our patients with spinal deformity and providing the absolute best care that we can. In iterative ways over the last 30 years, we're doing that, right? So in a way, thank you so much for what you've done as well. And you're all humanitarians. Lastly, I wouldn't be sitting here if, because the only group that honestly means more to me than the Scoliosis Research Society is my family. And my wife, who's a humanitarian of the Lenke family, I would not be here today because she's allowed me to dedicate my life in very special. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Now, the past chair of the Scoliosis Research Society, Maharam Yazizi, is going to go